Recording in progress. Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening. It is Friday with Nin. Hey,
Fridays with
Steph.
Nin, Fridays with Nin. Every day is Fridays with
Wow, wow,
Nin.
yay. How
That's
are
trademarked.
you?
I'm good. How are you doing? Sorry, I'm moving my mic back because
That's okay.
yikes, so
So, how are
loud.
you liking your mic?
Oh my
Now
God,
that
this
you've heard yourself back and stuff like that.
this thing
Amazing,
is
right?
amazing. It's so powerful, but what I'm noticing is I feel like I hear an echo. Like if it sounds so clear in my headphones, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
wow, like I like to come down before you and I meet up and sing a few riffs because it sounds
Uh-huh.
so clear.
Right? Don't you just love hearing yourself?
Yeah, but like I need to fix because it's very echoey in this room. So I
Mm-hmm.
need to figure out how to lessen that. I don't know how though. Like I guess
Yeah.
that's why recording studios have those really cool panels. The
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think like I've even because even in here, even though sorry the mess, um, like we have no carpet and it's just acoustics are just sucky. So I even thought of like they say like if you built like a poster board and kind of built it around you,
Mm.
like like just even if it's on a stand or something to where you like your head's in it and the mic's within that confined space, it would give it just enough space to where the noise doesn't bounce off like the big
Dang.
room.
You know, we should do cute little DIY recording booths that we put
Oh, we
over our
should.
desks.
Yes. Oh my God. And we could totally make it like 90s,
Yeah.
like the
Cool
graphics.
lights and like Saved by the Bell like
Yes,
emblems and
we
stuff. And then
should.
all we gotta do every time we record, we just pop it over our area.
I would
Let's
love
get
that.
crafty. I
Yes, I think
love
we
it.
should.
Okay, let's do it.
Because I've been thinking of that. So remember I said when you had noticed my little sign was like way back there, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to dangle it from the
Yes.
top, right? And I was like, okay, but then Tony realized that the where it would dangle from, it actually would end up being way too in the front, so it wouldn't work.
Mm,
But man, if I could do that, I could even put that on there.
on it, exactly. And I can hang up, yeah, like on a
Mm-hmm.
peg, like a pegboard even
Yes.
type of situation. And then we can
Mm-hmm.
have cool pictures of us in the
Yes.
90s, like behind
Oh
us,
my
and
gosh.
a little
Okay.
mirror ball. Like
Uh,
sky's the limit. Let's do that.
totally.
Oh, what
Yes.
do I sense a
I,
trip to Hobby Lobby or Michael's
right?
brewing?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm dead
Okay.
serious.
Okay,
Like,
I'm on it.
okay.
I'm like, by the time we have our next session next week, I'm gonna be like, I mean, it might take a little longer, but now I'm
Yeah.
excited. Because
Plus,
Tony
we
even has a lot of wood out there.
exactly like we have really crafty or handy spouses so they can help.
Mm-hmm.
Although you're very handy yourself. And sometimes I blow my like I say that I don't have like a crafty or
Oh
creative
no, you
bone,
do.
but then I'll like want to sit down and do things. And I'm like, and then Angel's like, okay, what's that then? See, you're doing it.
No,
So I
for real,
like it.
because look at you with like holidays, you have like wreaths and
I love
like
to
you
make
get super,
wreaths.
yeah, you're super crafty. Didn't you make, what were you making for, maybe it is a wreath. Every
I
holiday
do
you do something, right?
centerpieces and
That's
wreaths.
right, centerpieces.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh my gosh, see? Don't doubt
Telling you,
yourself.
being happy just makes you want to do all kinds.
Ain't that the truth, right? When you're
Yes.
happy, it like comes out of the woodwork.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm in my head imagining like I'm gonna go to the Dollar Tree and
Yes, no, let's do it. I'm so down for this because I'm telling you, I've been trying to think of something that can actually be a little bit more. Because if I could have, I'm gonna just clean my thing right here a little bit. Sorry, guys. Um, if I could, I would literally have a little closet. That's why, like, even YouTube
exactly.
people are in little closets.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was thinking, can I go upstairs into the closet? But I would have to bring. I do have a MacBook. I could probably hook it up and do it.
Hmm.
Maybe we should try that while we're waiting for our. Except I have the puppies, but I
Oh
could just
yeah,
close the sliding door. But I could see them like.
and wanting to be like, why is she in there?
Uh-huh. But I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll put them down here and then I'll go
Hmm.
upstairs and just see if it makes a difference. It will.
Yeah, no, it does because I've recorded before in my mom's closet,
Uh-huh.
and oh my gosh, It is so, the sound is so nice.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And you could
Let's
even tell when you talk into the mic, it's so like unaffected.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting excited.
But it's amazing how a mic changes the scene a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
incredible. Like
I
I know
love it.
this mic I love. Like it's just I don't know, and you have to find which one you like the best. But
Yeah, you said that to me because I was like, that was my second mic, and we haven't even been doing this a year.
hmm
And then but I wasn't always happy with it. And this one, like, I'm like far away now that I have the headphones, I can control how close I go.
hmm
But man, this thing's powerful. I can hear when the puppies are eating upstairs. It picks up all that. I mean,
you could hear them crunch.
I could hear them crunch. I could hear them walking last night or the other day when we were recording. I could hear
Uh-huh.
Roni trotting on the floor really in here. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, and the thing is you think that you could hear like that other people could hear that,
Hmm.
and you really can't. I
Mm-mm.
think it's just so that you're aware of
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
So
They
cool.
say it's good to like eavesdrop with these.
Oh, okay. Ear
Not that I
hustle.
do that, but you could be like in another room like we are, and like you said, you could hear someone talking upstairs.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm. So be careful.
Man, what if we like recording in a closet, but I still want to do the booth?
Oh no, totally. Because honestly, I wouldn't mind recording in a closet. Like, and I think that, I mean, I have the one downstairs in my laundry room that is nice and quiet, but there's just a lot of stuff in there I'd have to, because I even contemplate like painting it and making it a little like sound booth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I say we try our little DIY idea.
Okay.
And then if that doesn't work, then we could move on. I
Okay.
think that would be a good starting point. We can make it very retro.
I love it. I'm stoked.
Yeah. Well, so now that it's almost Friday, well, Friday for people listening, do you have any big plans for the weekend stuff?
Let's see.
Because you've had a few busy weekends.
Yeah, it's been insane. I think we're gonna take it easy to Friday today.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna go see the Barbie movie this weekend, which I can't see
Mm-hmm.
past that. I'm so excited. And literally it's Barbie mania everywhere I turn. I think they set up one of those big Barbie boxes
No
by the
way.
Kabuki theater. So
Uh-huh.
but I'm hoping that the theater that we go to has the whole shebang too. I'm so excited. I'm
Oh my,
so excited.
where are you going
Just
to see?
the Alamo because
Oh,
I love
nice.
I love the theater. It's very old school, and
Aw.
they have waiters and a really
Yes.
good
And
meal
alcohol.
menu, I should say. Yes, it's so good. So that's what
Aw.
we're doing. How about you, cuteness? What are you up to this weekend?
Uh, nothing. I heard a vibrate. Hello. Nothing, actually. I'm just going to be relaxing this weekend. We have like a lot of yard work and it's going to be a scorcha. So just going to relax and kind of chill this weekend.
Okay, I love it. And when you say
Yeah.
scorcher, like how
Well,
high?
right now I believe it's 106.
106, and we're not talking about KMEL.
I
Whoa.
know. So,
Whoa.
yeah, it's crazy. They said the past 15 days have been the hottest on record, like consistently
Wow. Meanwhile,
ever.
San Francisco is like 67. I'm like, oh my God.
But it's nice because at least you have blue skies, right?
Yes. Yeah. At
Oh,
least
good.
in our neck of the woods, there's blue skies, but I wouldn't mind getting, you know, sunburned.
Yeah,
But who knows?
exactly.
Maybe we'll get that in September. So, but
Oh, yeah, for sure.
106. Wow.
Yeah, tomorrow, I think for like 3 days, it's supposed to be like 108, 105, 106. I don't know. I'm like,
Holy shit.
yeah, I mean, it's all right. I don't mind. I like it. At least we have the pool. It's just you can't stay in there very long,
Yeah.
or else you come out looking a little lobsterish. Okay. Shoot. So,
Oh.
I'm just gonna recap it because I know that's something that we had talked about yesterday, but it's not aired. But, um, what is it called? What is the name of the show?
And just like that.
Yes. Why
Yeah.
do you find it hard to remember it? I find it so hard to remember it because I keep looking for Sex in the City. I don't know. To me, it's not a very flowy kind of title.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they did it. It's her
Mm-hmm.
catchphrase, but it's hard. I mean, but and just like that, Sex and the City. I see what they did there too. It's
Mm-hmm.
four words, but yeah, it's because we're so used to Sex and the City.
Yeah, it's weird, but is Aiden coming back?
He is.
He is. Okay. 'Cause see when what's her name? Carrie had gone when the guy, she she bumped him in the street. For some reason when he bent down, I didn't see his face and I was like, could this be Aiden? But it wasn't. I was
It
like,
was Mariska Hargitay's cute little tenderoni husband.
oh, is that him?
Mhm. And
Interesting.
Angel's little face when the mask came out, she's like, look, it's him.
Oh, he's adorable
Isn't he
though.
delicious? And
He
he
is.
actually, did you recognize him? Because he was the one that when Charlotte was a single Jewish gal when Harry and her broke up, and she went to all those singles mixers and all those
Yes.
all those bubbies were trying to set her up with their grandson. He was one of them. And she was like, I'm sorry, I'm still in love with my
That's why he
ex.
looks familiar.
Exactly.
Oh, what a trip. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It
Oh,
would have
that's
been a cute way to
adorable.
tie it in,
Oh,
because
completely.
it's not lost on all of us. Like we're all like,
Right.
I've seen
Huh.
this series before.
Question real quick though, and this isn't in regards to Sex and the City. What do you think about Sofia Vergara and
I'm
her husband?
devastated.
Right?
It hurts. It hurts. I was really
I
upset.
was
I was
blown out of the water by
worried.
that.
I wouldn't, I was worried about it for a while because they've been traveling apart, which a lot of
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood couples do. But then his birthday post to her, it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like my beautiful wife. It was like happy birthday, Sophia. And she was off in Italy or wherever having the time of her life with her friends, which of course you can do. But it just was like the timing, it didn't feel right in my soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's like right at the 7-year itch,
Yeah, I
oh,
thought that
come on,
too.
we need more Kevin Bacon and Kira
Mm-hmm.
Sedgwick energy.
Oh, completely. Like I feel like a lot of these couples just can't push through. You
Yeah.
have the ones like the Goldie Hawns and Kurt Russells and like you
Hmm.
said, Kevin Bacon and but it's just the newer ones just but they did say, and I don't know if you believe this and I don't know if it's true, but they did say that she has like a drinking problem.
Oh, that's
But I
too
don't know if
bad.
that's it could be she just likes to have a good time. But they're
He just
claiming that
strikes
he
me
was
as the
warned before,
he was what?
warned of her drinking.
That sucks. I'm sad if that's the case. That's too bad.
I know.
Man,
I know. It's like kind of like, really? There was another couple that I was gonna ask you about.
Ariana Grande and her husband of 2 years.
Yeah, I
But
didn't.
today news broke out that she's dating her co-star from Wicked, and I was not surprised by it because they've been photographed a lot. And
Wow.
also her husband, her ex-husband is, she's a big star, and I think he was threatened by it. It's just like Kiki Palmer's husband throwing a fit. First of all, Kiki Palmer, stunning. She just had
Hmm.
a baby,
Yeah.
stunning. She's out there at an Usher concert, backing that thing up. Okay,
Hmm.
she's not cheating on her man, but he's all, oh, that's no way a wife should act. First of all, you're not married to her. At least I don't think they
Hmm.
are. But like, he just was like, he was shaming her, and then he was shamed. Guess what? I think he's just I think not just the I think he I don't think he's in the industry. So it's always like the men that are or the people that are threatened by a more, it's like,
Successful
to
woman.
bring it back to Sex in the City, it's like Carrie and Berger. Carrie was
Hmm.
like the well-known person on the red carpets, and she was a well-known author, and Berger couldn't handle it. That's why he ran for the
Hmm.
hills.
Yeah. I
It comes
mean,
from
do you
somewhere.
think that that's a possible, like, would you be threatened if, I mean, I don't, I don't know. Like, do you think there should be a reason why a woman can't be a winner in a relationship. If
No, I
in
think
a straight, I think like men let it get to their head too much.
yes, because since the dawn of time, the man has always been the main provider for the family. And now,
Hmm.
it's not the case anymore. And I don't think it has a lot to do with it. But I also think it's like they're threatened because like they're just there, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe like the photographers are like, can you step away so we can get a picture of her by herself? Because you're not, who are you? A lot of
Right.
that is like they're
Yeah.
treated as if they're nobody.
Well, it's kind of like, and maybe it's kind of like with J Lo and Chris Judd
Yeah, same
and
thing.
like her first husband. Where
Oh,
is
honey,
it? Honey.
Noah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same idea. Like, I don't know. I think, but then you look at like people like Jennifer Garner and her first husband, even though he was an actor, but she was like way more successful than him. And I do think that they let it get to them, or it could even be jealousy.
I think jealousy plays a part in it, but I feel
Mm-hmm.
like in the beginning they're determined not to let it affect them.
Mm-hmm.
But it just it must wear the person down. It looks exhausting,
Mm-hmm. No,
like having to
definitely.
keep up with all that, and then pretty soon they want to stop going with their spouse to all these events because it's like one after the other, especially if you're like a high roller. And
Mm-hmm.
Sofia Vergara, she's not in, Modern Family anymore, or I don't know of any movies she's currently in, but she's a high roller. So's her husband. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
they understood each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
very
God, they were
disappointed.
beautiful.
They were so gorgeous. And the way he
Mm-hmm.
like he had such a big crush on her. It was kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Bonet, Jason
Yeah.
Momoa situation. Then they
Mm-hmm.
got their dream girl, and that's why when oh, it's knife to the
Yeah.
heart.
No, completely. And last but not least, Kylie Jenner and Bad Bunny, because they say it's getting serious.
You know, I
A lot of people
what do they
hate it.
talk about? Oh yeah, I don't want to say the whole Latin community. I'm a part of the Latin community. I think it's hilarious. I'm like, what do you
Mhm,
guys talk about? But like, look, she's beautiful. He's beautiful. They're attracted to each other. They're probably having mind-blowing sex if this is real.
mhm,
Um, Work it. And hey,
mhm,
you get to have Kris Jenner as a mother-in-law. Why not?
mhm. Yeah, it is
But
pretty random.
but for him to like risk his entire career
That's what I
for
was
it
just gonna
not to
say.
be a real thing,
Mhm.
you're gonna really like he's the hottest person out there,
How
right
old is
now.
he?
He's in his early 20s. I think he's not that
Oh,
old.
okay, so he's still pretty young.
Yeah.
And she's what, in her mid-20s?
They're both in their mid 20s, I think. I think they're
Okay.
the same age.
Oh, okay.
What did
So
they
I
talk
mean,
about though?
yeah. Does he speak perfect English or is it broken?
I think he speaks enough to get by.
I mean,
I would love to
like
see Daddy Yankee in the Kardashian clan. I would be all over it. I would die. Oh my
imagine
God,
that.
him and Kim, I would just fall over in ecstasy.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen any of the new episodes?
No, and I want to. Can I just say one thing? Sorry, guys. I know I talk about the Kardashians a lot, but I love them. I do. There, I said it. But like,
Mm-hmm.
so I had no idea because I did not watch Courtney and Travis's wedding, and you told me that it was kind of not worth it too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I had no idea. I forgot that Kim got married in Italy. I had no idea that Courtney had Andrea Bocelli at her wedding. And I forgot that Kim had already worn that outfit. So where does Courtney get off?
Oh,
Like,
because she doesn't want Kim to steal the whole Dolce Vita lifestyle that she's trying to accomplish.
how is she
Courtney could
stealing it
go
if
suck eggs.
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
How is she stealing it if Kim's already done it?
Exactly. I mean, I can honestly say like I don't want to say I'm not a big Kim Kardashian fan. It's just like whatever for me. Like when she talk like she's a successful woman, she's
Oh,
smart, she has I mean, people talk trash about her because if anything, a lot of them are jealous because she's accomplished so much for being the one person that everybody said like, how did they get famous? Like what are they good for? You know what I mean? And now look, she's freaking billionaire. Um but when it comes to this with Courtney, the things that Courtney brings up and argues with her over, it's really ridiculous. It's a bunch of fluff. And honestly, Courtney's just jealous.
I
That's
think
what it comes
she's
down to.
I think she's always been, but a part of me feels a little sorry for her
Hmm.
because of the very, at least what we the audience see, like when they get into these arguments and
Yeah.
she's like the least interesting to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm like snorting. I don't agree. I think Courtney's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
The way she uh, just she's kind of dismissed a little bit by the family, and I feel like Kim always gets everyone's support, including Chloe as of late.
Mm-hmm.
When she and Courtney used to seem to be the closest back in the day. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's kind of like everyone's kind of pulling away, and that joke about how those are her favorite daughters, Kylie and Kim, that's
Yeah.
got to come from somewhere. And what, so I just feel like Courtney's the oldest, and she's always had to be like, when you're the oldest sibling, you have to be the one that gives up a lot. And so I feel bad for her because,
Mm-hmm.
that was her wedding. This was her dream wedding. This is her
Mm-hmm.
dream man. And I love that she's getting this, because like she deserves to be happy after we've all seen her treated like garbage forever
Mm-hmm.
with Scott. And she's getting her happy ending. But like, her arguments that I've seen like on social media, because I haven't seen like the whole thing, it makes her look silly because it's already been
Mm-hmm.
done. Now, where I do agree is Kim should have not though, she should have been there just for her sister and for the
Mm-hmm.
wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh
that's it.
yeah.
Like she should not have done any, she should have told Dolce and Gabbana, you know what? It's my sister's wedding. Like I'm here
Mm-hmm.
for her. And that's what it should be about.
Mm-hmm. And
Is
I think with Kim, and that's where, like you said, that's where she faltered, is that she should have just shut it down. I'm not talking business. I'm just here for Courtney.
yeah.
That's it. But the way she made it look was that they approached her, that she had nothing to do with it. And where Courtney was right is that when people are throwing money in your face, you would rather choose that over your family. I mean, she's always
Money,
been like that.
money, and the fact that it's Dolce and Gabbana.
Hmm.
Like, when are
And
you
it's
going to
like,
get that
honestly,
opportunity again?
yeah. But honestly, I'm like, this whole thing, the way they like, and I guess that's the reason why people get irritated with them, is they glamorize these things so much. Is it in the bigger spectrum? You have the man of your dreams, Courtney. You had a beautiful wedding with a hideous wedding dress. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was awful. That could have been a party dress. Okay. You could have done that after at the reception, but come on, and I think that she likes to play a victim in a lot of ways. Like, I do think too, like she has got the raw end of the deal a lot
Hmm.
because she is oldest, all this other stuff. When you think of like monetarily how much she is worth versus the rest of the girls, she's kind of like right above Rob,
Hmm.
you know but at the same time, those are things she's also really prided herself on with. Oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Like at the end of the last show, like, I want to just think about my family and this. But now all of a sudden, now that she's with Travis, it's like now she's welcoming all of the attention, right? And it's just like, okay, well, what do you want, and I love Scott, and I think it was really shitty how she handled that too on the show, because he was
Hmm.
really hurt. Because
She's
bottom
got
line
mean
is,
girl energy. That's why.
and that's exactly
But
right.
he also, that's his karma for early,
Hmm.
early days, Scott. I love him
Oh,
too. I think he's
completely.
hilarious,
But
but
I
he dug
think
his own
too,
grave.
she strung him along as well. Like she
Yes.
could have, everybody was telling her just cut the cord, like just stop, and she still stayed around,
They have
and
a
it's
habit.
just, yeah, and I just think that he's one of those people that he too was very greedy for attention. And now that he was not getting it, it's just like, because he had a few hissy fits. So, I mean, I wish in a perfect world that him and Chloe would get together because I think
Me,
they're
well, I'm kind
hilarious.
of waiting for that. It's like
Right?
I've always liked their energy more
Mm-hmm.
so than I don't think Courtney's very interesting.
No, no, I mean,
Well, more interesting than Kendall.
yeah. I mean, I think Kendall is the most normal as far as she just is like, that's herself. She's unapologetic. She's a lot like her dad, like when like her dad's side of the family, right?
Yeah.
Just very simple. She likes outdoors, animals, stuff like that, I don't really think like if she were to just go off grid and not be famous anymore, I really don't think she would care either way. With Courtney, I think she likes it, but also she likes to she's different than the other girls. You
Yeah.
know, the way she lives her life, like they always make fun of her because she's vegan and this and all that other stuff, you know. But then now she has that vitamin company, and it's so funny when you read the comments on like her posts about what she, is they're like, "What are you advertising? How is it that, you're here like naked and a whole bunch of pills? Like, how is that even advertising what you're trying to sell? Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't make like who's your marketing rep, And I just think that she tries, but somehow she misses the mark,
Hmm.
And Chloe and what's her name, Kim, just I don't know, and Kylie have been blessed
Yeah.
with a lot of support from their mom,
Yeah. I
you know.
mean,
So I don't know. It's interesting. It's my what is that called? My what is that? What do they
guilty
call that?
pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. It's like nasty
Yeah.
pleasure.
That's something
But
else.
right. So anyway, other than that, with Fridays and with Neen, I wanted to actually start something different,
Hmm.
and that is called. And I don't have a bowl, but I have a glass, so we're just going to pretend this is a bowl. It's called the Fishbowl series. I have a little
Oh.
goldfish on there. I don't know if you can
Oh
see
yeah, I just saw it.
it. So in here is going to be like a group of questions or like thought-provoking things that I'm going to just pick out of there, and then we're going to answer it and have good convo. So we'll see what we pick today.
Okay.
I'll mix it up. Okay. Let's see here. And if it's a simple question, then we'll move on to another one if we've answered it.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm. If you could learn the answer to one question about the
Oh.
future, what would it be? Do you want me to start or do you want to start?
When the second you asked it, I already knew
Mm-hmm.
what it is, and I feel like it's so morbid, but regarding death,
Mm-hmm.
because I let you know how much I like to be prepared for things and how I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
handle it. And I feel like therapy has helped me because prior to therapy, I was like, okay, like it was everyone's a ticking time bomb around me. And I
Mm-hmm.
lay awake at night and I worry. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, I guess I would want to know, but also I don't because it terrifies me.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be one thing that I would want to know is
Yeah.
how and when.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Even how? That's pretty.
Because I
Hmm.
pray every day that everyone that I love goes peacefully in their sleep in their own bed.
Mm-hmm. Aw, I love that. Yeah, right? Tell me about it. No, for sure. I actually, you know what? That's probably, I don't know. I probably think that would probably be one for me too, only so I could prepare things. Like,
Exactly.
it's not so much like for me, I mean, you're not normal if you don't fear death. Like, I think it's something, even though you claim that you're religious and have all this faith, that you shouldn't fear it. It's only normal to fear the imminent,
And
right?
that's what I tell God when I pray. I'm like, it's not like I'm doubting you. It's or
Mhm.
like I say that. I'm like, it's just this is natural.
Yeah, no, it is. And that's the thing. Like, I think about that for myself. I think about that with Tony. I think about that, like, even with my mom. And then, especially with my dad passing away a couple of years ago, it's just like it puts things in a lot of perspective of like things you should have done or could have done, And I don't want to have those same feelings with people in the future or making sure that Presley's taken care of or God knows what, right? And I just think that it's one of those things that even if you prepare for it, even if we knew when we were going to pass away or someone else was, it still wouldn't be easy,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
And I think
God.
that nothing could really prepare us for
No.
when that happens, And I think it's so funny because, like, for me, and it's one of the things that I do want to talk about eventually on Fridays with Neen, but I feel like it's just a very deep and very raw conversation, and that's grief because I feel like it's so broad and different when it comes to different or how people grieve in general. And everybody, it's so funny. Like, I don't know if you ever noticed, but when I post something about my dad, and you can understand where I'm coming from when it comes to Instagram. When I post stuff, it's for me. It's for no one else.
It's like a scrapbook.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And so I have a good friend who lost her husband, I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago. And maybe like at the 2 year mark, all of a sudden, she started posting tons of pictures of him. Like on her feed, it was like maybe like 50 pictures
Oh,
of him and her and their child, right? And she's the same age as us. So, my heart sunk for her,
of
and
course.
of course I just told her I just want to send you a virtual hug and let you know, um, you know, he's looking down on you, whatever.
Hmm.
One thing that I'm careful about not saying, and I've noticed, so when I post stuff on my Instagram, when it comes to my dad, I like to just block the comments, because there's some things that people say and you don't really understand, or you wouldn't know these things unless you go through it. And it's not insensitive, but the same things that you hear all the time, like, well, he's with you,
Mm.
like, just remember he's always with you.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I know that. But at the same time, I'm not looking for comments like that. I'm just looking for, not even looking for anything. This is just me posting it, right? And I feel like sometimes people don't know what to say, and there really is no right or wrong. And I think when it comes to grief, it's not linear. Like, everybody grieves differently. And sometimes people don't even want anybody to answer anything. They just want to put it out there because it makes them feel good for that moment, you
Yeah.
know? And, looking back on pictures and stuff is one of those things. Like, I think back and I'm like, gosh, if I would have known when my dad passed away, would I have done anything different? You know, or, the fact that I'm a big advocate for telling people that they should prepare for their burials, right?
Yeah.
And did we do
No,
that with
that's
my dad?
smart.
No, we didn't. you know, but it's so important to do. And people, I know a lot of people think it's morbid, and a lot of people don't understand why it would be important, but it is. Like, talking to your loved one about, do you want to be buried? Do you want to have your body donated to science? Do you want to be cremated?
Hmm.
Like, those are huge things because you want to do right by that person.
Right.
Do you guys want to be together? Do you want to be spread in the ocean or over, the forest? Like, I don't know. Like, those are all things that should be talked about. And even financially, it's so expensive to prepare for a funeral. Like, and I don't even think that a lot of people, out of sight, out of mind, people don't realize though how expensive it is to bury someone. It could be, just for a cremation alone, the cheapest one where it's just basic is $1,000, but you ain't getting much. And then a burial, like on average, I think they said on average, the most basic burial is like around 15,000, 15 to 20,000. And I mean, my mom and I were trying to buy, not trying because we didn't know what we wanted to do with my dad yet, but trying to get a place for him where him and her both can go. And we wanted it to overlook the ocean because it was over at Skylon.
Yeah.
And literally the place we looked at was like 100,000. And that was just to buy the niche. That wasn't even taxes, nothing else, the earn, nothing. People don't understand all this stuff. And it's just like, you know, it would be nice to have a little bit of insight. So this way, at least you could prepare,
Yeah.
because it's so important to do so. And I know it's hard and it is scary to think, like, okay, for example, if you knew a time frame of when you were going to pass away, are there things that you would make sure to do?
Hmm.
Like, is there anything that you're afraid to do now that maybe you would do because when your time's up?
Yeah, I would. travel more. Oh my God. Am I foretelling my future by traveling more now?
No.
Because I
You're so
no,
funny.
oh God. Yes, I would definitely travel more. And I would, to my Peruvian family who's currently listening, this does not count for this trip coming up, but I would
Mhm.
go see Machu Picchu.
Oh wow,
Um,
you would go to
yeah,
Machu Picchu.
yeah. I
Oh, I love
would
that.
go to all my bucket places. I would immediately like make sure like everything was taken care of financially. And then I would go crazy. I would I would go to even more concerts. I would
Mhm.
not worry about what cheese is going to do to me. I would not like all of it. I would just live life to the fullest.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
exactly. And it's so unfortunate that it has to take something like that in order for us to think that way,
I
you
know, which
know?
is why I'm trying to change that.
And I know that life, it's easy to say that, but I know life gets in the way and like a lot of things aren't possible because of just life in general and responsibilities and whatever. But it just sucks that we all have to have those parameters in order, like, oh, or like people wait till they're retired to do those things.
And I don't want to do
It's like you
that.
shouldn't
See,
have to.
that's why like Angel almost fell over and I was like, I say we do Italy in May. And she's like, really? Okay. Like,
Mhm.
because he's not pushy. So like,
Mhm.
I'm
No.
terrified of flying,
Mhm.
but like just gotta pray that it's gonna be okay and make memories. And I certainly in this relationship, because I'm so happy, I
Mhm.
do I do feel like I live my life to the fullest every day, but that's one area that I'm lacking is like because I'm so scared of the unknown, I don't travel nearly as much as I should.
Mhm. Then Kara likes to travel a lot.
Oh
She loves to
yeah,
travel, right? She's been all over.
definitely. Yeah.
No, I agree. I don't think you're the only one. So here, let's see what else is in here. Da-da-da-da. Okay. Interesting. Is patience a virtue?
Ah! I love how you look at me.
I
Now,
know. I was like,
okay, but do you agree that I've gotten more patient over the years since?
oh, hold on. Yeah,
Hey, don't
absolutely.
choke on your hair.
Yes, you have. And I will joke because I have seen so much growth in you as far as your patience is concerned.
Gosh.
So I think it's amazing. No, I mean, and what's funny is that I used to pride myself on being very patient. And as I'm getting older, I'm getting less and less patient completely. Because Tony's like, I literally, my patience is, I don't know if it's because I'm a mom. I don't know. I just, certain things just drive me wild and nuts, and I can't handle it.
Which is hard for me to believe because I do think you're like you and Angel are very similar, and this one of the main similarities that sticks out besides your guys' innocence is your patience.
I pride myself on it, but
Hmm.
it's been hard lately. And I don't know what it is. You know what it is though, is okay. I think patience is a virtue for sure. And I think it's something that we should practice because I feel like I can't, okay, like for example, I can't force people to do things that I don't want them to do. Or like if I'm in a rush, like that's not anyone's fault but my own,
Hmm.
right? Um, but when it comes to certain meticulous stuff, like I don't have patience for like cords that are in knots or like things like that.
Yeah.
I'll
Hmm.
pay someone to do it. I ain't doing it,
I
right?
hear you.
Or what was something yesterday and I was like, no, I don't have patience for it. I'm not gonna. And now it's like I'll just say I don't have patience for it. I ain't doing it. Like I'm not gonna put myself in situations where I know I'm gonna get really irritated.
That's very mature. And the thing is, it's like for me, like my patience levels have improved, but Angel knows me so well, like you. So perfect
Hmm.
example. Whenever I love doing home projects. And I want when I think of it, and then Angel agrees, I want to right now. Like I don't want to wait
Hmm.
till like next weekend. I want to do it
Hmm.
right now. perfect example. I had been wanting to redo the office studio
Hmm.
for a while, and I did not know that Angel had already been brewing private thoughts about how it
Uh-huh.
was going to go. So when I said, honey, I want to redo the office and do all this, and she goes, yeah, I've been thinking about it too. Now she said that only because she had had time
Hmm.
privately to plan for what was going to fly out of my mouth. And I was like, can we start working on it now? Because
Hmm.
she knows me. She's like, had she told me 3 weeks or a couple weeks before, I would be
Yeah.
up her butt. Like, can we do it
Hmm.
now? Like
Hmm.
TV. So let me show you. Oh, never mind. Just the thing went buzz. But we got a TV for our gym area. So when we
Uh-huh.
practice, we have the TV up there. I like to
Oh, that's
do
a good
Apple
idea.
Fitness, and I like to
Hmm.
stream it on my computer. Now we're over my computer. I'm on this side of the room now. So it's annoying. I have to turn it and work out over there. So I go, honey,
Right.
let's get a TV. So we got a TV and I'm like, can we mount it? And it's
Hmm.
still sitting on the floor. And it's been a week and a half. And she knows that I'm like,
Chomping at the bit. Hmm.
but that's me. Like I want it because I'm excited. It's more like I'm excited to see the end result, but I
Hmm.
need to
No,
work
I
on
get it.
that. Because then,
No, but that's not bad.
like Christmas, I'm like, honey, want to know what I got you?
Oh yeah, see, you're like Tony in that sense. Tony's good because I like surprises for Christmas. I don't want to know. But you can't wait.
I have to tell you immediately. Like, oh my God.
Hmm.
But can you give me kudos for me hiding the fact that I was going to propose to Angel?
Oh
Look how
yeah.
long I kept that secret.
Hmm. Yeah. No, for real. And yeah, because it's so funny. When I think of your patients, I always think of going into a line at a store.
Uh-huh. That's still there, by the
And the
way.
huffing and puffing and the eye
Puta
rolling.
madre. It's like they have to have the most slowest person at the register always. When they're Steph's coming in. Let's go ahead and get, Bethel on, the
Hmm.
register and have her take her sweet time.
I have a question though. Have you been to Target lately?
Yeah, like last weekend maybe for
Have
groceries and
you
Colma.
have you noticed that I don't know how it is over there, but over here, and it seems like because I travel a lot. So every Target I go to, there's like no checkers.
Yeah, that's a thing now. It's like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, am I earning $20 an hour to bag my own shit? Like, I actually
right.
like having someone else do it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like that everywhere. It's so like there's two cashiers maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's making people kind of cuckoo because this one guy like lost his marbles at two employees who were just standing there chopping it up, and he's like, "Why do you guys? You're here."
Mm-hmm.
Chilling, but like there's
Right?
like no one working at the register. What sense is that?
Yeah, for real.
I was laughing.
See, I can't. Okay, and okay. While we're on the Target subject, I went to the Target in Westlake because I was in the area and I had to use the restroom.
Uh-huh. Uh-oh.
Tell me why that
Ain't
restroom.
nothing but a heart.
I was like, where'd that come from? But tell me why there's only one stall
Yeah.
and they have to let you in.
Yeah. I
I was
know.
like, I believe I went to that TJ Maxx before and they had more than one stall.
I think you're right.
Ugh, even the one at Stonestown.
Yeah, the one in
It's
Stonestown's bigger though.
it
This one's like a
is
little
yeah, but the
sporty side.
bathroom, see, I have a thing about bathrooms. The bathroom, it's like we knew that Nordstrom like nobody's business.
Neen, here's the secret. You gotta pee if you're at Westlake. Go to Home Depot. Clean,
Oh, that's true, because
pristine
no women go in
bathrooms.
there.
Exactly. Women are disgust. Tell me why they have to pee all over the
Amen.
seats.
Yeah, I know. Why is that?
Also, turn around and make sure everything flushed.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the bathroom today because I had
Uh-oh.
to go, and there was piss all over the floor. Why?
I don't know, but we're nastier than men. And I'm not saying
We
you and
are.
I'm talking about
No.
like women and like the gym I work at. Like I feel so bad for the poor janitor. And
Oh,
I get in
completely.
such a mood. I'm like, are you serious?
No,
Don't
I
even get me
agree.
started at the garbage cans in the stalls. People just don't care.
Oh no, they don't. And I don't understand. Like, did people think it's funny to not flush when you do number two? Because you physically could see that hanging out
Yeah.
in the pool.
Yeah.
I'm just-
Yeah.
It's
Chilling.
so stupid. People
I
are
hate
so
it. I
rude.
can't
I
stand
can't.
people.
So, okay, so that's our convo with patience. I mean, you know, anyways. Oh, okay, this is a fun one.
Uh-oh.
If you could change your name,
Oh, Jessica.
okay, what would it be and why? Okay, why Jessica?
I have always loved the name Jessica. First of all, I love the letter J. It's just the way, especially if it's at the beginning of your name, like you. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's just when you do it in cursive and then the double S. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like Jessicas are just baddies. That's my going out name. That's like I have to go
Ah.
to, I'm gonna wear like a sexy number and my name's Jessica. Like that's always been my go-to name. I just
Oh.
anyone with the name Jessica is automatically like this really pretty girl.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think of all the Jessicas I know. Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's
It
just
is.
my
That's
name.
true. Wow. I never knew that. I
But
never
she's
knew that was
only
true.
my, see, I have several names because
Mm-hmm.
I have a hiking name and her name is Denise. She has granola
Oh,
in the morning before her hike, maybe some
of course.
chia,
Mm-hmm.
and she does a hike and maybe she does sunset yoga. Like, so that's
Mm-hmm.
my like Sunday name.
Love
And then
that.
Cassandra, she goes to the
Mm-hmm.
museum, she goes to art
Oh, I
galleries,
was
she goes
Cassandra too.
Yeah. So Cassandra, Jessica's number one, Denise. And then I
Mm-hmm.
have a thing with Madison. Like, had I decided to have a baby and if it was a girl, the names for me were Madison and Sophia with an F. Strangely enough, not Jessica.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
like that.
But I
It's
love
so funny. I
Madison.
used Cassandra um at Jamba Juice one time, and I paid with my debit card.
Oh my God.
And I was like, and she goes, "Is this your card?" And I'm like, because I'd already given her my name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. So after, because I used to do it all the time because I love that name so much. Either that, I also liked, I really like Savannah. I wouldn't name myself that, but I think it's a pretty name. Mine is and always will be Genevieve
Yeah.
or Genevieve.
Yeah.
Nobody likes it. Everybody thinks it's an old lady name, but I
Didn't you
really
want to
like it.
name the baby that?
I did, but people got in my ear and they're like,
Oh.
"Oh, it's too long. She's gonna have an issue like
Oh.
spelling." I'm like, "Well, my kid's gonna know how to spell. So
Thank you.
if they can't
Sorry.
practice and learn how to spell their freaking name, then there's an issue,
Was it
right?"
with a G?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
nice.
And I think I would have like it would be Genevieve, but I would probably pronounce it Genevieve just because I like that. And or if I did pronounce it Genevieve, her nickname would probably be Vive.
Oh, not Jen.
Yeah. No, see, I don't like that name. I mean, it's great on people I know, but I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of Jen, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just very common. I'm not like a common
Yeah. And
type of.
hi, I have the most common name ever except for the spelling. So
Yeah, see, it makes it interesting. And I love that. It makes you you.
I know, but I
So
could really get down with some Jessica.
I like that. I don't That's so funny. Okay. Was there enough space on the door or whatever that thing was in the movie
Oh,
Titanic with Rose
yes. You
for
could have a whole
Jack?
freaking family of three on that door with her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I will never get over that.
Yeah, I wonder why. I mean, and the thing is that she was bigger than him.
Yeah.
So she could have easily got him on without that thing. Like if he got on, he would have been able even probably to like jump on a little bit and they
Here,
still would have been okay.
here's the thing though. We don't know if it would have just sank.
True.
There was room, but it wobbled
Hmm.
when she got on.
But the thing was, he could have just held on. I mean, I know
He
his hands were
did though.
frozen.
He did hold on. He held on and died because of
I know.
hypothermia. And then she
I know.
let go of him to like swim to get help. He wanted her to do that. He wanted her to live and have a full life. Don't get me started. That movie breaks my heart. Oh,
I still could have like you would have made room for Kira.
I would have given it to Kara and I would have
Mm,
looked for something else. Actually, I would have
yeah.
sunk to my own death because I don't know how to swim. So the end. She could have the door.
Do you ever want to learn how to swim?
No, I'm terrified of the water, which you would think that would make me want to learn how to swim, but I just don't put myself like Angel is like, let's go on a cruise. And I'm like, I literally would rather go to the gynecologist than go to a cruise. Like I where I might consider though is a river cruise. I
Oh
might do
yeah.
that, like
Mm-hmm.
In France, like
Mm-hmm.
just as long as I can see the land, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
fine. Because I've even in
Yeah.
pools, because again, I don't know how to swim. Pools, like I need to be holding on to the pool. Even if I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking on the bottom of the, I have to, I can't be in the middle because I don't like wide open spaces.
Uh-huh.
Wide
I
open
was like, okay.
spaces. I
Whatever
hate
happened to
it.
them?
I don't know. I want to know. Was it a Sinead O'Connor deal? No, they kept going after that
Yeah, I think they did.
when they cussed out the president. They
Right?
kept going, I think. I mean, hell, Pink wrote a whole ass song, so she's still here. But yeah, what
Right?
about you? We decided that there's enough room on the door, but it would might have sunk.
Yeah, I think so. I just think
Okay.
that if there was a will, there's a way. But then
Mhm.
you have to consider like it was so cold.
Yeah.
I think that's the only grace I'm giving her is because of the amount of like your hands tense up.
And you're just traumatized too. She probably wasn't thinking straight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely. Are you a perfectionist and why?
I feel like I am because I get mad at myself when I don't accomplish things the way that they should be. Case
Mm-hmm.
in point, like, we're doing the dance classes, and then where you learn choreography. If I'm not picking it up as quickly as everyone else around me, I get really angry at myself. And then I go home and I practice the hell out of it. Then the next time I go to that class, I'm going to nail it for me, not to like stick out like some sort of like diva, but it's like just so it's known to myself. You got
Mm-hmm.
it. You can learn it. And
Mm-hmm.
then when it comes to like writing, like when I would write like statements and stuff for work or anything like that, I am a perfectionist when it comes to it. And I want to hear whoever I'm turning it into, oh my God, it was amazing. Like, so whenever I like anything like that, it feeds my soul. It's like, okay, then I did a good job. Like, so like I'm a
Mm-hmm.
perfectionist when it comes to my work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then at home, like I want like no one, like I was saying, no one can come over without giving me plenty of notice so that my house is clean. Like
Mm-hmm.
if the house is in shambles, like I'm not home. Like you're not coming
Uh-huh.
over.
You're that meme where they hide.
Yes, I'm my mother, like turning off the
Oh,
lights and not answering the door.
I love it. Oh my
How about
gosh.
you?
Um, I am to a certain extent. I'm a Virgo, so everybody claims that Virgos are perfectionists. But I'm not as much of a I'm perfectionist when it comes to things that I could see. So like if I have a vision of something that I want like in my room or how I want something designed, or if I'm sitting there and I see a picture's crooked, I have to fix it. I have to. Like it will wake me up. If the lights are off, but I know it's crooked and I didn't like I've gotten up to go and fix it. Like
Noted.
little things like that. I can't. Um but when it comes to other things like, of course, like you said, like at work, um, problem with me is if I tend to do really well when I don't overthink stuff. So when I become too much of a perfectionist, I make tons of mistakes. I
Okay.
can't, like you tell me it has to be perfect, there will be a mistake.
yeah, of
Like
course.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, and because I don't like pressure. You give me
Mhm.
pressure, I will F up every. possible way. And it's not intentional. It's just because I can't function like that. Like I don't like people
Yeah.
putting pressure on me. Um when it comes to just in life and like, you know, Tony and I tend to, especially when we do DIY projects, I like things a certain way and I like them done a certain way. And Tony like he has his ways too, because he could be a perfectionist as well. But I'm always right
Okay.
when it comes to stuff like that. I can't, and that's just me. And in the end, he'll always say, well, gosh, you're so picky, but I get why you're so picky.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand, like you just want it done correctly. It drives me nuts because my mom is so opposite than that. My mom will
Oh.
put like a picture up and it's crooked and she could care less. Okay. Or she like, because she wants it done quickly, she'll take the easier route, even if it doesn't last long. Or
Oh.
she'll go and buy stuff from like um Instagram, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's cheaper, she'll get it from Instagram or wherever, and then it ends up never coming because it's not a real place, but because it was cheaper to her. So like things don't bother her like that. She doesn't understand perfectionism, and it drives me nuts to my core because I'm the complete opposite,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
But I could respect people that are perfectionists because I think that it could drive you mad too, like big
Yeah,
time, you know.
definitely.
And our last one, um, are you okay with confronting hard situations or topics with people?
Now I am as an adult, and I think therapy has a lot to do with it. I used to not, I'm like my mom in the sense where we don't want to like rock the boat and it's just easier to walk away. And I didn't like that quality in me. And so it's hard. It's
Mhm,
definitely hard, but it's like empowering. Like
mhm,
when it's been something that you would run from, and then
mhm,
you have the tools now and you can do it. Um, it's very empowering. So
mhm,
yeah, but I also want to say that I'm a work in progress too.
mhm. Yeah. No, and I think it's hard. Like I'm still, like you said, I'm still working on myself too with when it comes to confronting people or situations. And I've been told repeatedly that I'm a doormat. Like
Hmm.
people for some reason have no problem telling me that sometimes with how
Wow.
nice I am. Right. And it's
So like,
like,
what's
oh,
a good
well, you
quality?
let
You're
people,
nice.
yeah, it's like, well, you let people take advantage of you or let people do this. And it's just like, yeah, I do, but that's on me. Like if I
Exactly.
want to be a doormat, that's that's my
How is that
problem.
affecting Tina
Anybody else.
and Susan?
Exactly.
It affects
You know?
you.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that for me, like you have to pick your battles. Like, is it worth talking to the person? Like if it's a relationship thing, or if it's like say with a mutual friend or a friend that I have that maybe I have an issue with. For me, I think too, like there's a way to talk to people without, like for me, and this is how I go about things now. I used to just like ignore things and let it go. But then what happens is you end up getting resentful inside when you can't explain things to people. Like I always feel like when you have like friendships or even like your family, like you should be able to talk things through with people.
Hmm.
And when you can't, it starts to just build up and build up and build up. And then you become resentful of those relationships. I mean, it could even go with like your spouse, right? Um, but at the same time, I think that it all depends too on how the other people receives information, because we all know those people that get defensive for everything.
Mm.
And the thing is if someone has the courage enough to confront you with issues or confront you with something that's bothering them, or maybe you said something that maybe hurt their feelings, right? I think that the other person should always look at it in a way of like, wow, they love me enough or they love our relationship enough to where they want to be able to fix it so that this isn't a problem, versus keeping it inside and then maybe ruining that relationship in the end. right?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of times people tend to run away or walk away because it is easier. I
Hmm.
mean, hell, sometimes you just don't want to deal with it because you know what's going to be waiting on the other side. But I think that if you are willing to take that leap, I think it's because you care enough about that relationship to fix it and
Hmm.
that you don't want to lose it.
Hmm.
Because it's just like even with a spouse, like, imagine if you never talked to them or you never told them things that bothered you.
Yeah.
It would never, it wouldn't end up good, you know?
Right.
And I think that that's a problem too. A lot of days, like nowadays with relationships or even just like life in general, like even in the workplace, like nobody ever wants to say anything. And the thing is like if you don't speak up or say things about issues that are going on that affect you or maybe affect others, I mean, it can become easily like a super hostile work environment.
Oh, definitely.
But if you say things to upper management, even if it doesn't get anywhere, but at least you try, you could be effectively changing the environment of the workplace for not only you, but everybody else and actually make it more enjoyable.
Hmm.
Or you could even be helping them. I mean, I had uh, was it a CFO? He was a huge manager one time and he was young. And that's the one thing I really enjoy about younger management, even though sometimes it could be a little bit gung ho and, kind of like um, too overzealous when it comes to stuff. But I think what's nice about younger blood is that they see a lot of the things that we've always talked about that our generation has like was maybe too afraid to say things about,
Hmm.
whereas I had told him one time he had asked me my perspective on what I saw was wrong in the company. And I told him some things. And he's like, you know what? I appreciate that. He was like, because if I don't know what's wrong,
Yeah. How can you fix it?
and I walk in and I see all these bitter, Bettys and they're all upset or they don't want to come to work. I don't want to see that. I want to want to see people that actually want to be here.
Right.
But if you're not telling me what you don't like or what's wrong with the place, then these issues are only going to get worse and they're never going to be better. And I think that's something that we all need to practice as like just a society on how to constructively communicate in a nice way. Because I think, especially nowadays with the world and how the tone is, I think
Yeah.
that we don't know how to communicate with one another. I think we
Mm-mm.
communicate through anger, through violence, hostility, and everybody's getting their feelings hurt. And
Yes.
it really shouldn't have to be that way, So
Good
I don't
point,
know.
Neen.
Yeah. So that's that for the Fishbowl series.
Ooh, loved it. That was
Yeah.
fun.
So, every we'll do this every now and then. Like of course we'll have other topics, but for this one I thought it would be fun like even if we were to ever get some more questions from like listeners and stuff like even like, you know, advice, we could always put it in here and, pick it and see what we come up with and see our point of views on things and I think it just opens a conversation. I think it'll be fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I think that's it for Fridays with
Oh,
Neen.
and like Neen said, if you guys have any questions or want to talk to Neen about something kind of like Dr. Drew and Dr. Ruth, whatever it may, whatever doctor out, that you relate to, shoot us a DM. We
Hmm.
won't like share it. We can keep it
Oh, yeah,
anonymous. So don't be
completely.
shy. And that was an amazing sesh. I am a huge fan of the Fishbowl series. And now I'm going to go watch Titanic because I want to see that door. Like,
Right? I want to see how big it was
yeah,
actually.
it was a
Hmm.
really big door, but I'm thinking it's because it would have sunk with two bodies, but whatever. It would
Yeah.
have sunk with my ass on there, so I would have given it to Jack. But
You're
yeah,
crazy. No, it wouldn't
so
have. Oh,
that was
man.
awesome, Neen. Thank you so much for another amazing Fridays with Neen. Fridays with
Fridays with
Neen.
Neen.
Every day it's Fridays with
Well,
Neen.
thank you,
Sash.
Steph.
Thank you. And we will
Aw,
see you next Wednesday for another riveting installment of Totally Nice Podcast. Did you get
yes.
that?
I sure did. And yeah,
Thank
and don't
you.
forget Crime Talk with Steph. Whoop whoop.
Ooh,
Oh my
that's next
gosh. I am
week.
so excited to hear what's up for next week because I'm
Hold on
telling
to
you,
your
the last
butts.
one was amazing. So,
Thanks,
no.
Neen.
Yes.
And without further ado, we're gonna catch you on the flip side, everybody.
Oh, yes. Peace out, buddies.
Aw.